Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Wanted to um, welcome you to my show, Good Ship Happens, today, and it's a very special day, isn't it, today? February 14th, Valentine's Day. And yes, people are celebrating different ways. It's so great, too. So, yes, it's a great day to celebrate, and even if you're not with somebody, you can celebrate with friends, whatever. Just share that love, okay? And what's great too is I'll share more about that too. One thing that just came up recently. Share more about that later in my show. Good Ship Happens. But what's coming up too is really fun too. Is Carnival Cruise Line has been around for over 50, I think close to 55 years. But what they've done is they've been expanding where they sail from. And Galveston, Texas was one they started sailing from last year, I believe. But anyway, they just made another kind of a great thing that they just did this week, February 11th. Kind of Cruise Line just, they've taken their commit to go further. What they did was on February 11th, this week, kind of their Sunshine ship kicked off their year-round cruises sailing from Norfolk, Virginia. And they're sailing from Virginian City's Half Moon Cruise Center. And the Cardinal Sunshine, more about the ship is, it is a 3,700 passenger ship. It just recently emerged from a routine dry dock, and it celebrates its first ever embarkation from Norfolk, which is great. Previously, Carnival's offers seasonal sailings from this Virginia port too, but once again too, it's really great too, because once again, according to Carnival, what they're doing is they're offering year-round sailings, and this will really turn Norfolk, Virginia into a cruise hub that will sail 150,000 passengers annually. What they did to celebrate this occasion, Carnival Cruise Line's Vice President of Port Operations, David Candib, was joined by local officials, including the mayor of Norfolk, Kenneth Alexander, also their Nauticus executive director, Stephen Kirkland, which is great. And also, this is kind of fun too, I didn't realize it, but they've had a 23-year partnership with the city of Norfolk. I didn't know that. So it's good that they're sailing out of Norfolk, Virginia year-round now, which is great. And what the vice president of port operations at Carnival Cruise Line said was, he said, Carnival's 23 years, their partnership with the city of Norfolk and Nauticus has been a great success, and we're honored to build our relationship by making Norfolk the newest year-round cruise port on the East Coast. And once again, year-round cruises offer their loyal guests, as well as more tourism rate economic impact with Norfolk too. And as far as more about the Carnival Sunshine, as mentioned, she just went through a dry dock, and she is sailing on a 6-day voyage to the Bahamas with calls at Freeport and Bimini. And then during her year-round deployment from Norfolk, she's going to be offering 4 to 8 night round-trip itineraries, and these will visit destinations in the Bahamas, Eastern Caribbean, Bermuda, and then also, starting in September, she will be sailing to Celebration Key, which is Carnival Cruise Line's newest destination in the Grand Bahamas that actually opens up this summer. I'm going to be writing about it. It looks fantastic. I've spoken up before my show, but once again, how fun that we've got on the ship that's sailing year-round from Norfolk, Virginia. And it's the Carnival Sunshine, so once again, it'll create a lot of sunshine for people on the ship too, but once again, it accommodates, as mentioned, 3,700 guests, and I think it's wonderful they're doing this too. And our first sailing actually started a couple days ago on February 11th, so what a great way to celebrate Carnival, right? Keep it in mind too. And as far as their Celebration Key, that's their new private cruise port. It's going to be opening up in July. I'll share more about that later. It sounds phenomenal. They've got us different areas too, but just be a good way to kind of think about where we go to. Because once again, with cruise lines, they started doing private out islands themselves years and years ago. In fact, Norwegian Cruise Line did that. And what they've done is they've grown it like crazy too. And also, it really gives you a chance to relax. You can get off the ship, usually walk off the ship on the dock, and then just relax, enjoy different things. Things to do on their private out islands, different places to dine, enjoy different things. Different things too, which is great too. And I know with the Carnival celebration, it's got, as mentioned, it's going to be opening up in July this year, and she's going to have 5 different enticing portals for the cruises to enjoy too. And the port's going to be located in Grand Bahamas, and includes the biggest freshwater lagoons in the Caribbean, and it'll have white sand beaches. They've got family-friendly zones, also an adults-only club, different dining venues, including some that are complimentary and more. And I'll be sharing more about that too, because I'm going to be writing about it too. But it sounds really fun because, once again, I love the name Carnival Celebration. It's Carnival Key. I'm sorry, it's Celebration Key, sorry. But it's a great way to kind of celebrate and just enjoy a private island, which is great too. So Celebration Key is going to be opening up in July this year. I'll share more about that later on too in a future episode. Something else that came up too is, I think I mentioned before, is, river cruising has become very, very popular. And over the years, we've got a couple different river cruise lines that are just phenomenal. One, of course, is AMA Waterways. It was started 23 years ago by Rudy Schreiner and Kristen Karntz, another partner, and they've been doing it for 23 years, very successful. What they're doing right now is they actually sail in, of course, the rivers in Europe, also in Egypt, and also in other areas too. But what they're doing too is they're going to be starting a special river cruise on a new ship they're building in another month or two. It's going to be on the Magdalena River in Colombia, South America. That's going to be starting soon. It looks phenomenal. I've written about it before too, and it's great because, once again, with river cruising, they're smaller ships, of course, limited capacity, but once again, it's a way to kind of navigate, and you can stop, get off the ship, and get back on the ship. And the ship is actually, in this case, your floating hotel, but it's great too. And once again, I think it's really exciting what Waterways is doing with their new ship coming out in another month or two. I think it's going to be actually this March, I believe. They have another ship that's a sister ship that'll be coming out also on the Magdalena River in Colombia, South America, I think this summer, but I'll share more about that later on too. It just is a great way to really I think, celebrate different things and see different places in the world maybe one to consider going to too. And something else too is with, one that came up too is another cruise line. It's Ponant Explorations. They've been on for a while. And what they did was they just announced a brand new itinerary that'll be in the French Riviera in 2026. And it's going to be an intimate Mediterranean voyage on board Le Ponant. Okay, that's the name of their ship. And it's going to be sailing from Nice, France, and also will include different visits to the port of Menton, also resort towns of Cannes, Saint Tropez, also I think it's pronounced Antibes. And once again, it's Le Ponant was recently updated, and it accommodates just 32 guests. Yes, just 32 guests. All first facilities that include an outdoor bar, a spa, Mediterranean spa restaurant, and also I think this is kind of fun too. When we think about toys, what do you think about? Toys for kids, right? Well, you know what? Adults can have toys too. What kind of toys can adults have on a ship? Aquatic toys. Yes. Okay. I think it's kind of fun, isn't it? Because with aquatic toys, it's really kind of fun what they do too. It's just different things to do as far as what you're doing too there, and it's fun. When we think about aquatic toys, but once again, it's different things you can do to actually experience the things off the ship. For instance, the ones they mentioned, with these aquatic toys that allow guests to dive straight into the Mediterranean waters, including a glass bottom kayaks and stand up paddle boards, as well as snorkeling gear and a saltwater pool. Okay, and that's very well known too. Once again, too, it's kind of good that they're doing this too. And they just mentioned this; it'll be offered in 2026. And these tours were really designed to follow the footsteps of Picasso and Bardot, and includes visits to the world-renowned historical sites of Portofino's Clifftop Lighthouse, also the old town of Antibes. And it's called the French Riviera under Le Penat Sails. Okay, the first cruise are doing sails out on May 12th of 2025, so definitely keep that in mind because it's kind of fun that they're doing that too. And you can find out more about it later on too, which is great too. Something else that came up too is Windstar Cruises. They've been around for a long time, and they actually are launching a brand new ship. Okay, the Star Seeker is their newest yacht. She's going to be debuting this December this year. Okay, they've got other yachts, of course, in the Windstar Cruises fleet too. But once again, they just made a big announcement. Okay, it really is fun because it once again falls around dining. Dining is an important part of cruising. Who doesn't like to eat on a ship, right? Because once again, you've got so many different venues, and a lot of times cruise lines do partner with famous chefs, which is great. But also, Windstar Cruises, they just announced they're introducing a new Mediterranean Asian fusion restaurant, okay? And it's going to be called, this is a fun name too, it's going to be rolling out this new restaurant called Basil Plus Bamboo. It's going to become combining Mediterranean and Asian cuisines. And what they're doing is this restaurant is going to replace one they had before called the, I think it's pronounced Quadro 44, but the Basil and Bamboo is going to first appear on the Sea Breeze this month, then debut as a new dining venue on board their new build Star Seeker, which is going to be entering service this December. And what this is, this complimentary specialty restaurant, which is great, and it's going to have different fusions of different flavors. Basil and Bamboo will be open for dinner only. Reservations are required. What's great too is it's complimentary, and they'll be offering Alishi cocktail sushi, Med Asian fusion dishes, and they'll also have different types of different menu choices too. They mentioned a couple. They've got miso soup, tuna tartare, also sampler of sashimi and maki, and then they got main entrees that have both flavors too, which is great, and really premium ingredients too. I love that name anyway. Don't you like that name? Basil and Bamboo. That's a great name for a restaurant, isn't it? So you don't forget it. Plus, it's short, easy to remember, and it's going to be on all their ships now, including their new ship coming out this December, the Star Seeker. Yes. And like I said, they're good. Oh, I think it's fun too as far as desserts. Okay, who doesn't like dessert, right? Desserts are citrus olive oil cake with lemon cream, acai Greek yogurt, ice cream, chocolate caramel ramu paired with a ginger, cinnamon, hibiscus ice cream, and also sake caviar. And I think it's kind of fun too, so definitely keep it in mind too, because Basil plus Bamboo is Basil, Basil plus sign Bamboo will join the main dining room amphora, and it's going to be a great addition too, which is great too. It's going to be debuting on a couple of their ships right now, as mentioned, the Star Breeze this month. It's in February, yes, and then we'll debut on their newest ship coming out, Star Seeker, which enters service this December. So keep that in mind too, because once again, we've got great cuisine on different cruise lines, great ships, great dining adventures too, which is great too. And as mentioned, that's with Windstar Cruises, so definitely keep it in mind too. And also, what they did was, as mentioned, with the different culinary experiences too. As mentioned, Basil plus Bamboo, which is Windstar Cruises' newest restaurant, specialty restaurant. And also, they've got on the Starseeker, which is coming out this December. Um, I finally found a list of the different restaurants they have on board that new ship coming out this December. They've got Amphora, which is their reimagined main dining room, which serves a variety of different specialty um, flavors and experiences too. It's got, just really kind of inventive types of dishes. They've got the Yacht Club, which is a casual cafe for breakfast and lunch. Offers a series of different traditional and modern flavors, along with specialty coffee drinks, of course, which is great in the morning, right? They've got their Star Grill, which is a casual restaurant for lunch and dinner. That's going to feature smoked, grilled, and barbecued meats, seafood, and vegetables. Plus, they've got their 24-hour room service, which is great. It's complimentary too, in case. And once again, as mentioned, the Windsurf is focusing on their yachts, common spaces, and suites too. As mentioned, it's going to accommodate 3 to 42 guests and be offering during their Caribbean debut sailing. It's going to be including classic Caribbean and beach fun and sun, also remote Caribbean getaway too. And once again, they've got different things, which is great too. It's really fun to think about different dining options too. Plus, keep that in mind, of course, Windstar Cruises, their new yacht coming out this December, but also great dining options too, right? And then something else too is in the Caribbean, we always think about, okay, where do you depart from? Okay, Norfolk, Virginia, which is really fun about Carnival Cruise Lines doing that now, which is great, but also, so it came up too is, the cruise industry really started with sailing out of Port Miami, okay? And then Port Miami grew, which is great. Then, of course, later on, we also had ships that started sailing out of Port Everglades, which is in Fort Lauderdale. It's about a half-hour away. But, and also, of course, Orlando, which is great, too. A lot of ships now sailing out of Orlando. Galveston, Texas, of course. But once again, that came up, too, is one cruise line has been really, really working hard to build a brand new cruise port for their ships. It's MSC Cruises. And what they did was, with MSC Cruises, they just opened up their first ship sailing at the Carnival. It was the MSC Seaside that just sailed, I think, this week out of their new Port Miami port, which actually accommodates 2 different MSC cruise ships. Yes. It's really fun. And like I said, they just opened that port this week, and MSC Cruises at the MSC Seaside sail out of that port this week from Port Miami. Also, what's fun too is with MSC Cruises as a separate cruise line, of course, owned by the MSC Group. And with MSC Group, they've also got their Explorer Journeys, which is their luxury cruise line. And what they've done is, during the winter time, they've got their Explorer 1, Explorer 2 actually sailing out of Miami. So what came up too is, they just announced this today, it was a really, really great occasion because Explorer 1, Explorer 2 actually sailed out today from Port Miami. Okay, and as mentioned, it was kind of fun that they had both sister ships. They call them sister ships because they're same type of design, whatever, Explorer 1, Explorer 2. But both of these ships sailed out side by side, which is great, from MSC Cruises' new port in Port Miami, too, which is great. And as far as what they're doing, Explorer Journeys has set itineraries sailing now from Port Miami on Explorer 1, Explorer 2. What they're doing is through April this year. So you got a couple months. Keep in mind, too, you might be able to get aboard. They've got just a really great options as far as the Caribbean, okay? For instance, they mentioned from February 28th to March 7th this year, they've got destinations that include San Juan, Puerto Rico. They've got Gustavia, St. Bartholomew. They've got St. John's, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, also Virgin Gorda, also the British Virgin Islands, and of course back to Miami. And that would be on the Explore one. Okay. Another one would be, it's called their Journey of Divine Dive Sites and Mayan Temples. This is from March 7th through March 15th, and this would be the Explore one, of course. She'll be sailing from Miami, including Cozumel, Mexico, Belize City, Belize. They've got Cayman Brac, which is Cayman Islands too. And then another one that the Explore one is going to be sailing on too is it's called the Journey of Waterfalls, Wales, and Tranquil Trade Winds too. This will be March 15th through March 24th. And our destination, of course, includes sailing from Port Miami, includes Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. They've got Cayo Levantico, Dominican Republic. They've got San Juan, Puerto Rico, also Gustavia, St. Bartholomew. They've got Roatan, British Virgin Islands. And as mentioned, this will be a night-night cruise. Then they're going to be doing a transatlantic cruise too. And this will be sailing, of course, March 14th through March 28th. And this will be sailing, I think, on the Explorer 2. She'll be sailing from Florida to San Juan, Puerto Rico, then St. John's, Antigua, Madeira, Portugal. So this will be a cruise going back over to Europe on the Explorer 2 after she spends time here sailing out of Miami. Also, Explorer 1 is also going to be doing her transatlantic cruise back, and this will be April 2nd to April 18th. She'll be departing from Port Miami, also King's Wharf, Bermuda, Horta, Portugal. They've got São Miguel, Portugal, also Lisbon, Portugal, Cartagena, Spain. They got Valencia, Spain, and Barcelona, Spain too. So that's kind of fun that they just had their two sister ships sail out this week from Port Miami, because once again it does accommodate two ships now too, which is great too. Something else that's kind of fun too is actually Royal Caribbean. They just announced today that they're going to be sailing out of San Diego now with one of their ships. I don't know what ship it's going to be, but they just announced it today, so that's another option too. If you do want to sail from San Diego, California, you can now. Also, what's great too is just different options too. Something else too, it's kind of fun too, is we've got some special anniversaries too, which is fun too. One, of course, is Crystal Cruises. Okay, what they did was they were around actually 35 years as of this year, and what they were doing is they're doing a series of special voyages, which I think is kind of fun. Crystal Cruises has been around for 35 years, and after we went through the pandemic, of course, the parent company went under, but Crystal Cruises was rebought out by another company, so they are sailing, and they're building a new ship too, which is great too. And with Crystal, it's always been a leader when it comes to luxury cruises, by the way, too. And what they've done is they've got some special themed voyages that they're doing this year to celebrate their 35 years sailing. For instance, what we've got is guests will be able to enjoy sail alongside some very, very well-known chefs, Michelin star chefs, including Nobu. Okay. Also, Abercrombie Kent, which actually purchased Crystal Cruises. Jeffrey Kent was the founder. He'll be sailing with these special sailings too. Also, they've got Crystal veteran captains too. And also they've got different really curated itineraries too that go back to Crystal Cruises' legacy too, which is great too. And they got two ships, the Crystal Serenity, which I sailed on myself too. Still was under Crystal. I think it was 2016, but I tell you what, it was really, really a beautiful ship. And I've never seen so many people so loyal to Crystal Cruises back then. The people that were on my sailing, most of them had never sailed other cruise lines. They liked Crystal Cruises. And I told it before, too, to some of my clients when I worked as a travel advisor, too. But it was a great experience, too. And the other ship, of course, is the Crystal Symphony, okay? And they got different, we'll be having the special Crystal Anniversary Gala, which is great, too, including special events, which is great. Also, Crystal Society reunions, which are people that have been in sailing Crystal for several years. And they've got, with these, the 35th anniversary sailings, these include, for instance, on the Crystal Symphony, they've got a sailing from Barcelona to Rome. That's June 4th to the 13th. They've got one that would be from, I think, let me pronounce this correctly, Thessaloniki to Civitavecchia, Rome. That's going to be July 10th through the 18th this year. It's an 8-day Mediterranean voyage. And they've got a round trip, Copenhagen. That would be July 15th through the 22nd this year. It's going to be a 7-night journey with an overnight in Copenhagen, and also features different partners and chefs too. Also, they've got Quebec City to New York City. That's going to be October 22nd through the 31st this year. This will be a 9-night voyage that really showcases the vibrant foliage of Canada and New England too, with a stop in Quebec City. I think that's great too. How fun too. And like I said, as far as part of the celebration, the Carnival Society members can enjoy different things too. And also, something that just came up too is the fact that Crystal Cruises just ordered a new ship from Fincantieri. That's the shipyard that builds a lot of ships. It's actually being built now. They just announced it, and they ordered this new ship, and it's going to be, as far as the gross registered tonnage, it's going to be 61,800 gross registered tonnage. It's going to debut in 2032. It's going to be the third ship within the Crystal Cruise Lines fleet, which already has a Crystal Symphony and Crystal Serenity too. As far as the number of guests, which is great too, this new Crystal Cruise Line ship will just accommodate 690 passengers. And it's going to be similar to their other two ships, which are great, offering great features such as a promenade that extends across the entire perimeter on the ship too, which is great. And it's going to offer passengers a different variety as far as dining options, and it has the including, I think it's pronounced Uma, the only Nobu at sea, and also the beef bar by Ricardo Girardi, which features dishes in collaboration with chefs, which is great too. And onboard entertainment is going to include casinos to Monte Carlo, which is set to debut actually in Crystal Symphony. Actually, I guess it did debut on Crystal Symphony this November, past November, and also on the Serenity, also last November, debuted there too. That is their new casino de Monte Carlo. Also, guests will be accommodated in suites with private verandas, and solo travelers will benefit from a single occupancy category, which is great too. And it's really kind of fun that Crystal Cruises is building a brand new ship after going through a transition. And as mentioned, they plan to launch more ships too, but they just ordered this one recently that won't debut until 2032. Right now, they're also building at least 4 new ships by 2029, which is going to be a little bit sooner too. But how fun is it? And as far as other new ships, of course, too, it's kind of fun because we've got some great ships coming out. One I'm really excited about being on myself, of course, is MSC. Coming out, their new ship, World of Bear, comes out this April, and I'm going to be on the christening naming ceremony cruise myself, which sails out on April 9th and comes back on April 12th. I'm so excited to be on the christening cruise of the ship too, which is great too. And what they've done is it's similar to other ships too, but it's got 7 different districts. including their MC Yacht Club, which is beautiful. It's a special area. The cost is more. Once again, you got your own private area, you've got balcony suites, you've got your own private dining restaurant, access rest of the ship. You've got your own private um, lounge area too, plus pool area. Everything. It's great. So once again, with the MSC World America, as mentioned, she'll start sailing in April this year. And as far as the areas, of course, she's got, of course, the 7 different districts, includes the MSC Yacht Club. Then they've got the Family Aventura, okay. They've got the Aqua Deck, they've got the Zen area, they've got the Galleria, the terraces, and also the Promenade, which, of course, has a variety of different dining and entertainment venues, too, which is great, too. That's really kind of fun, too, because we've got that, too. And then another one, of course, is the, what they do is they got 19 different cabin types, too. And they range, of course, from world-class exclusive promenade view cabins. They've also got the special owner suites. And also they've got, of course, they've got 19 different dining venues. And that includes 4 main restaurants. They've got 2 buffets. Also 2 venues within the MSC Yacht Club and Italy. And with MSC Yacht Club Italy, that special area is key card access only, and you reserve that. You pay more. Once again, it's like the ship within the ship concept, and I had a chance to really experience it myself too when I sailed on one of their ships a couple years ago. It was great too. So once again, that's kind of fun too. Another one too that they just mentioned too, as far as some entertainment. They really a bit more. I'll tell more when I get back from my christening cruise too. But with the World America, she's going to have a special show. I think this is so exciting. Guess what the show is called? It's called Dirty Dancing in Concert. Yes. And it really brings to life some things that came up with the movie Dirty Dancing, but it's going to be a concert. And I think that's great too. That's on MSC World America. And as mentioned, it's just a way to kind of bring those songs to life, which is great too. So they just announced that too. Also, I know they're going to be doing some other areas too. I'll show them about that too, but I think it's kind of fun because once again, the World America, as mentioned, her debut official sailing will be on April 12th when I get back from my christening cruise. Okay, and then we've got some other ships coming out too. I mentioned this before, but Royal Caribbean's got their new ship coming out this August 31st, Star of the Seas, and that's a sister ship to Icon Seas. So it's a second Icon class ship, but also what's kind of fun too is she also has a special officer on board the ship. It's called their Chief Dog Officer. Yes, Golden Retriever. And actually, I found out the name of the Chief Dog Officer on this ship. Her name's going to be called Sailor. And of course, what's great too is it's coming out this August 31st, Star of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. Okay, and also another ship coming out too this year is actually Oceania Cruises. They're a luxury cruise line, and they're owned by the Norwegian Corporation, but they've got their new ship coming out this year called the Allura. Her debut date is going to be on July 18th this year. Her passenger capacity is going to be 1,200 guests. And as mentioned, she's the second Allura class ship for Oceania Cruises. Okay, but what's great too, and another one coming out too is we've got Viking Cruise Lines. They've got their Viking Vesta. That's coming out on July 2nd of this year. Passenger capacity on the Viking Vesta is going to be 998 guests, and it kind of really follows Viking's tradition of having destination-focused voyages too. Another one coming out really quickly too is going to be Norwegian Aqua. This is actually Norwegian Cruise Line's new ship coming out. It's actually debuting. I think her debut actually was postponed until middle of April this year, but her capacity is going to be 3,571 guests, based on double occupancy. Okay, and it's going to be it's the first, the Aqua is the first ship within their Norwegian Cruise Line's Prima Plus class. So I have additional enhanced amenities also, and her sister ships, which have already been out now, the Norwegian Prima and Norwegian Viva. So think about that too, because once again, that's going to be called the Norwegian Aqua. And then another one coming out too is with Virgin Voyages. That's Brilliant Lady. She debuts actually this September 5th this year. The Brilliant Lady, and she, let's see, I don't know how many passengers she accommodates, but once again, it's their fourth ship with Virgin Voyages, and once again, it's their follows their brand's adult-only policy. Features beautiful dining venues, wellness programs, also entertainment is tailored for their mature audience too, which is great too. Another one, this fall, the Celebrity Excel is debuting November 18th this year, and she will accommodate 2,918 guests, and the Excel is the second ship within their Celebrity Edge class ships. She features different designs, and I think just focus on culinary excellence too, which is great too, and really, really beautiful too, as far as luxury too, which is great too. So that's called the Celebrity Excel, but her name is actually Celebrity plus Excel, spelled XCEL, Excel, okay? Another one is actually Disney. Disney Destiny is going to be debuting this November 20th, and she has a capacity of 4,000 guests, and it's actually the third ship within their Disney's Triton class ships, which really features immersive experiences too, and also around their Marvel superheroes, which is fun too. And then later on, of course, another ship that Disney's going to launch too in December, which is a nice time to cruise too. This is going to be December 27th on the Disney Adventure. So you can take an adventure on Disney Cruise Lines. It's called the Disney Adventure. She debuts actually this December 27th. Her capacity is going to be 6,000 guests, and it really is. It was actually part of a global class Disney Adventure ship that they acquired, reimagined by Disney Cruise Line, and I know she's going to be home ported actually in Singapore. I forgot to mention that. So she's going to be home ported in Singapore, which is great too. Also, as mentioned, Windstar Cruises is debuting their new ship, the Windstar Cruises, Windstar Starseeker. She's going to be debuting this December 28th, and as once again, it's they're expanding their fleet. So the Starseeker will accommodate 224 passengers, and it's really expanded their growth for the cruise line, which operates 6 different ships right now. And their existing ships right now, as far as their Star class vessels, include the Star Breeze, the Star Legend, and the Star Pride. So the Star Seeker will join those ships, and she's debuting this December 28th. And as mentioned, 224 guests on board the ship. Also, another that came up too is Four Seasons Yachts. Four Seasons Yachts is the cruise company. They started launching these, I think about a year or two ago, but the Four Seasons, maybe it was Four Season 1, okay? And it's actually been an inspiration of Four Seasons hotels. And once again, it's the Four Seasons Yacht. It's a 679-foot, 14-deck vessel, and it's includes floor-to-ceiling windows. They've got terrace decks, plunge pools, standout 4-level funnel suite. It's designed as a villa at the sea too, so that's coming out this year too, sometime in 2025. And then as far as, if we think about Valentine's Day, people ask, okay, can you get married on a cruise ship? Well, years and years ago, you couldn't. You actually had to be, you could actually take a cruise and get married at maybe a U.S. island. Okay, for instance, St. Thomas, which is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, of course, San Juan, Puerto Rico. But then cruise lines really kind of changed, and what they did was you can actually get married on different cruise line ships too, which is great. But and of course, with Valentine's Day, we think about that too. You fall in love, whatever. But it's kind of fun too, because once again, something new that just launched, just came up, is with Puerto Rico. What they did was they just launched, Discover Puerto Rico just launched their new Valentine's love letter. Okay. I'm sharing a short video about this too, which is great. Okay. But let me share more about that too. It just kind of came up with this special Discover Puerto Rico's new Valentine's love letter. And once again, it's what they did was Discover Puerto Rico is actually their official destination marketing organization, and they just announced that their Valentine's Day initiative love letter from Puerto Rico features a really famous Puerto Rican actor and producer. Okay, and it's really great what they're sharing in this great video too. Okay, and we're going to share the video in just a minute. But how fun, because I've been to San Juan, Puerto Rico several times. It's a beautiful place to go to. It's U.S. owned, of course. And this is a beautiful place to go to. Plus, it's U.S. owned, too. And once again, you can see different, what I like, too, is you can see different areas, which is beautiful. Also, you've got different ports that have survived. Of course, hurricanes, too, which is great, too. And it's just a beautiful place to go to too. Plus, it's in the U.S. and it's let's see, it's beautiful. I've been there several times, and it goes back to they started working on this too to really educate travelers about what's great about visiting Puerto Rico. Okay, and once again, it's a beautiful place to go to. I've been there several times, and like I said, the forts. Went on a cruise there back probably the 1990s, and the forts were just beautiful. And I've been back there several times, and the forts have survived the hurricanes, etc. Beautiful place to go to, different places to go to too, because once again, you've got places to go see. Oh, that's also, by the way, where you can actually visit the Bacardi rum factory too in Puerto Rico. Okay, and I've been there several times too. I did a tour one time at the cruise, and it was great to kind of see the rum factory, Bacardi rum factory, which is great too. There's walk through it. It shows where they actually do the rum, whatever. It's a great experience. It was fantastic. And once again, with Puerto Rico, you can actually do small tours too, where they're there too. In my case, I was doing a cruise. It was Renovation cruise ship. They flew us down and back, and our flight returning didn't leave till 6 o'clock. We got off ship about 9 o'clock, but a friend of mine had found previously, before we actually got down there, it's called Spoon Food Tours, and we did that. They took us to at least 4 or 5 different places for different tastings of food, and took us all around. It was great to really experience it too, because I've been in Puerto Rico several times, but just a great way to kind of experience different places too, plus different cuisines too. So when we're ready, we can actually show the Discover Puerto Rico, their new Valentine's love letter. And this is a fun video. I found it by accident, but I thought this is a great way to kind of end the show today. Good Ship Happens, because it is Valentine's Day. And once again, I love the fact that Discover Puerto Rico has now launched their new Valentine's love letter. So I'm just waiting for the video to show up, okay? But once again, think about wonderful places you go to too, and maybe next year, maybe think about taking a cruise over Valentine's Day. You can do that too. You've got so many different choices out there. You can do a 7-night cruise, you can do a longer cruise, shorter cruise, but once again, they've got weekend cruises too, so depending when Valentine's Day actually takes place next year, keep it in mind, because it's a great way to kind of really have fun and celebrate. And you know, your meals are included, entertainment's included too, which is great, and you relax and just spend time with that special someone too, your partner, your love, okay? And as far as, like I said, as a way to kind of navigate this destination of Puerto Rico, because it's really such a great community, and I just love it, because they the digital industry really went through, it came up through a campaign they started to develop in 2022 to educate travelers about the really beautiful places to go to in Puerto Rico after the pandemic, which is great too. And it was through this new concept they decided to create this new launch of the new Valentine's love letter. And once again, it's a really beautiful place too because it's U.S. owned, of course, too, and you can get there, of course, if you want. You can fly to Puerto Rico too if you want to, because we have a lot of different airlines that do fly to Puerto Rico, of course, too, and it's a beautiful place to go to. It's in the Caribbean. Once again, it's U.S. owned, which is great too, and because there's so many different things that come up as far as just the atmosphere and different things you can do too. I mean, I love going to forts, and when I did my spoon food tours, we actually first went over to one area that was a fort, of course, and we did the spoon food tours to different places to take different tastings of food, and a great way to really kind of see one area of San Juan, Puerto Rico too. And once again, just is a great way to experience something, plus it's U.S. owned, which is great too. And like I said, the person actually is talking this love letter from San Juan, Puerto Rico, is actually a Puerto Rican actor himself, and his name is Maury, I think it's pronounced Losasco, okay, but he's great, and he's a very famous Puerto Rican actor and producer himself. But with this special love letter, the new Valentine's love letter, it's just, when he mentioned too, filming this, Amiri, the actor, mentioned that this product is deeply personal to me, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to showcase our island as a living, breathing community, an environment that really deserves to be experienced and of genuine respect and love. And he said, I hope travelers will see Puerto Rico through the eyes of someone who actually calls it home, which he does. And it's really understanding every visit is an opportunity to really connect, preserve, and celebrate that rich heritage. I'm just waiting for the video to show up for a minute, okay? Give me 1 minute here too. And once again, it's just a really great place to experience too. And as mentioned, when I started cruising, I think the second cruise I took, we did go to San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was really exciting too, because we went to different places, did a tour, and saw some of the forts, and been there back several times. It's great too, because once again, the forts have survived, of course, hurricanes, and beautiful areas to see and experience. Plus, the food cuisine was so great when I've been there before. I'm curious myself too. And also, if you do like rum, definitely look into maybe, if you do take a cruise, maybe take a cruise excursion so you go to the Bacardi Rum Factory, which is great. Great experience. You can see how rum is actually curated and made to, which is great. So, great place to go to too. If you think about a place to go to, maybe on a cruise yourself too. It's great. Because once again, if you do take a cruise, usually they're included, it's called an Eastern Caribbean cruise, okay? But it's great too.
Puerto Rico has been my home for as long as I can remember, and my love for it only grows deeper with time. When we call ourselves Boricua, it's not just the fact that we were born here. It's the very fabric of life in this beautiful place. To visit Puerto Rico is to live Boricua. And when you show love for our island will love you back. To love Puerto Rico is to know our story, our language, is to immerse yourself in our rich culture passed down through generations, and in the pride we carry for our island and our people, who are bright, passionate, and full of life.
Every inch of this island tells a story, and as Boricuas, we love, cherish, honor, and protect it. And it's the responsibility of every visitor we share it with to do the same.
To love Puerto Rico is to support our people, local businesses, artisans, and states that preserve and celebrate our culture. Their passion is the heartbeat of this island, reflected in everything they create. To love Puerto Rico, it is to carry this gratitude and respect, creating a meaningful and lasting impact on the island and its people. To love Puerto Rico is to embrace our uniquely local customs through a culinary adventure, honoring the skilled hands of our farmers and the unmistakable Boricua touch of our chefs, preparing that perfect mofongo, or arroz con pollo, or the irresistible lechon you'll taste in the mountains. To love Puerto Rico is to choose restaurants that celebrate locally grown produce, ensuring every bite sustains our traditions and our support for our fincas. To love Puerto Rico is to dance the sounds and rhythms that are uniquely ours. Salsa, bomba, and plena flow through our veins like lifeblood. To love Puerto Rico is to let your feet take you off the beaten path, discovering hidden gems and helping to preserve the beauty of our most treasured places. To love Puerto Rico is to connect with El Yunque, the sun-kissed shores of our breathtaking beaches, and the ethereal glow of the bioluminescent bays that are a masterpiece of nature. These places are more than just landscapes. They are the essence of who we are. To love Puerto Rico is to protect fiercely and do our part to maintain our natural resources, knowing there are gifts we share with the world and a legacy for generations to come. To discover Puerto Rico is a story, a connection, an experience that will stay with you forever. To love Puerto Rico is to carry our spirit in your heart, knowing that there's no place like this in the world. With love, Amaury.